What up? Yay! I am live on YouTube. Let's see, is the microphone on here? Maybe I should turn it up a little bit. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? All right. I think testing, mic check, mic check. Okay, good. How's it going, everybody? This is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment. It's been a while since I did YouTube live stream. Approximately 3 months ago was the last time I did this. So yeah, I hope I'm not getting rusty. But I've launched because I'm back to live streaming again. I've launched this thing called Rockin It with Rama Screen Live. So it's a weekly show happening on Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, where I would discuss the news that happened this past week with you guys from the world of movies, TV, and entertainment. So yeah, it's why am I doing this? Well, because if you notice Rama Screen YouTube channel, there's a bunch of playlists and segments. They're all pretty much frequently updated. The unboxing, and then the events, and then the interviews, and then the giveaways. There's something new, usually on a daily basis or every other day. I would upload something new there. But the news section has been stagnant for a while, unless, of course, there's a significant death of a prominent public figure or celebrity that I wanted to talk about, like, for example, Stephen Boschko. I did a video on that. So I figured, you know what? Let's do it the same style as Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, but mix it with the Young Turks. Those are my two favorite shows. The Young Turks is a big online news network on YouTube. So what they do is that they have daily live stream show, and where they discuss a bunch of news and current events, and then after their show ends, they chop the topics up into different videos, into several videos, and then unleash them on YouTube. So I was like, I need to do that. I want to do that. So I want to do a live stream show, and then chop each topic, I don't know, by 5, 6, 7 minutes per se, into single individual video, and then post them on YouTube later on. And because I can't do it every day, because I have press junket, I have red carpets, I have press screenings, and I have to drive to LA and back. Obviously, I can't do this every day. And I figured, you know what, let's do it on a weekly basis. I don't want to miss out on discussing it, at least, even though it's already gone past a few days since the news, hit the web. I still want to at least talk about it and discuss it right here on Rama Screen. And if you guys happen to, want to share your own thoughts, you can do that in the chat. Or if you want to also contribute to Rama Screen YouTube channel, you can also contribute through Super Chat. So how much ever you are willing to contribute, it's up to you. No requirements. Obviously, the difference between Last Week Tonight with John Oliver and Rockin' It with Rama Screen is that I am nowhere near as funny as John Oliver. So keep your expectations to laugh out loud on a minimum. But we are going to be discussing a bunch of news and topic from this past week, from the world of movies, TV, and entertainment, even the ones that I did not get to block from Rama Screen or at ramascreen.com. For example, before I get to my second topic or news, I want to start off with, I don't know if you've heard, well, I don't know if you know, I'm a big fan of Kanye West's music. I know, that might turn off some people because Kanye West, the person, is he's pretty much a dick. A jerk, I would say, without cursing. I don't want to curse in my show here. So because he's openly promoting and championing Donald Trump. Now, here's the thing: a lot of people out there kind of like are jumping on the bandwagon of hating Kanye West because of what he says. Like, why is he's such an influential black rapper? Why is he on the side of or supporting? Why is he supporting this clearly, this president who's clearly preaching hate? Basically, that's their argument, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for doing that. But at the same time, you gotta admit, Kanye doesn't really do this on a regular basis. He only does it when he's on a concert tour, or when he has a CD or an album, a new album that he's about to promote. So yeah, I'm on the side of, hey, he may be he may believe the things that Donald Trump believes in, for whatever reason. But even more than that, he's kind of playing you. He wants you to be talking about him, get the buzz going, because he has albums to sell and concert tickets to sell. So I'm on the side of that argument. I know there's been a development this past week when John Legend texted Kanye West and says, "Hey, Kanye, you are influential. You got millions of fans. You need to be more responsible in who you're supporting." And Kanye West, posted that exchange text on Twitter. See, Kanye West is a jerk, man. Like, that's a conversation between friends. You don't just like post them on Twitter afterwards. That's not cool. In my opinion, no, whether or not I like Kanye West's music, I was like, that was a bit of a low blow he pulled on John Legend. And of course, Chance the Rapper also kind of got in the mix of it, because Chance somewhat kind of defended Kanye West, but he doesn't want he wants people to know that he doesn't defend or support Donald Trump. Yeah, there is a bit of a drama this past week between those three and our president. Uh, and I'm just here with my popcorn, watching and just laughing the whole thing off. There's some other more important, significant things that our president should be doing instead of engaging himself, with these three talents. So yeah, get back to work, Donald Trump. Let's see. Okay, what's the first topic, or the second topic, I should say? That was the first topic. The second topic I want to bring to you is okay. This past week is Show West, aka CinemaCon. That's like the convention or comic book convention for movies. The studios would bring their newest upcoming releases, kind of promoted there. And J.J. Abrams was there on video. He wasn't there in person, but he was teasing the new horror film Overfield. No, I'm sorry, Overlord. Overlord. Now, for a while now, Overlord was assumed to be sort of like the next Cloverfield film. That was the assumption that people had. So J.J. Abrams pretty much set the record straight, and he said, "Hey, no. Overlord is not a Cloverfield film." But J.J. Abrams also said on this video announcement that there will be a third or a new Cloverfield film. They are going to, make it. There are no details yet as to when the filming will start, who's going to be writing it, who's going to be directing it. But he said that Overlord is not a Cloverfield film, but there will be a Cloverfield new film. It all started out, of course, in 2008 with Matt Reeves, and then followed by 10 Cloverfield Lane in 2016. And the most recent one was Cloverfield Paradox, which arrived on Netflix by surprise right after the Super Bowl. Do you remember that? I was like, whoa, what's going on? Well, not me, but everybody in the world was like, whoa, a new Cloverfield film. All of a sudden just hit Netflix. And to tell you the truth, I haven't seen Cloverfield Paradox. Mainly because I have my doubts. I mean, if a movie gets thrown into a streaming service like that on the first, on its first launch, whereas the first two movies or the previous two movies had theatrical releases, you kind of have concerns like, whoa, what's going on? Is the movie not that good that they just throw it to the streaming service instead of theaters? So I still have my reservations. A lot of I've read some of the reviews. They're mixed reviews, so maybe I'll give it a chance one of these days. But let me tell you this much: I was a fan of 10 Cloverfield Lane. I thought 10 Cloverfield Lane was a much more entertaining film than the 2008 movie, which it's so dizzying. 10 Cloverfield Lane was great because of John Goodman, despite the fact that what's his name, Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character. There you go. Despite the character that she went all Mary Sue at the end and became all like, wow, where did she get this? Tactical and such like can beat the alien like that. It's like, where did that come from? But it was more entertaining than 2008 movie. Am I anticipating the third Cloverfield movie? I don't know, man. uh that is still up in the air. I don't want to say yes, I don't want to say no. I guess you could put me on the maybe for now. But I am anticipating Overlord. It looks or it sounds like a very, very intense horror film, which I cannot wait to watch. Let me read you the plot synopsis here for Overlord. On the eve of D-Day, a group of American paratroopers are dropped behind enemy lines to carry out a mission crucial to the invasion's success. But, dun dun dun, as they approach their target, they begin to realize that there is more going on in this Nazi-occupied village than a simple military operation. There's more to it than so I want to see what that unexpected thing is. What is that? Hopefully it's something supernatural. Hopefully it's something scary. Hopefully it's something trippy. I can't wait for Overlord arriving in October 2018. Okay, so that's a bit about Overlord and Cloverfield 3. Let's get to the next topic here. This is an interesting one. Tyler Calvert, thank you for tuning in. Tyler Calvert says, anything can be a Cloverfield film these days. That's right. Anything can be a Cloverfield film these days. I think maybe Indiana Jones 5 is actually secretly a Cloverfield 3, but who knows? Who knows? Thanks for chiming in, Tyler. 20th Century Fox film taps Kino Industries CTRL movie technology to develop their new interactive movie, Choose Your Own Adventure. Okay, so I want to read the press release that 20th Century Fox gave me here. So basically, 20th Century Fox acquired this patent technology that will allow theater audiences to control the character's action throughout the film using the app developed and created by Kino. So I don't know if you are familiar with Choose Your Own Adventure. Choose Your Own Adventure is a book series from the 80s, very popular back then. And basically, it allows the readers to be the protagonists. And so along the way, as you read the books, there'll be options, options for you to take. And those options will lead to multiple, or not necessarily multiple, to there's various endings. There you go. That's what I was going to say. So if you choose this option, it'll lead to that ending. If you choose that option, it'll lead to this ending. So that's why it is interactive. So the 20th Century Fox and Kino are developing this technology to make it possible for theater audiences to do that with the movie. That is insane. So let me read to you again from the press release here. Using Kino's simple proprietary app on their smart devices, viewers will vote to decide what characters will do at pivotal points in the narrative. That means the same film will have a different plot, different ending, and even different running time, depending on the audience's unanimous choices. And unlike previous attempts at interactive filmmaking, this will all happen seamlessly with no break in the on-screen action. Wow. can you guys visualize how that will work out inside the theater? I mean, that when I read that to you, that sounds kind of cool and all. Tyler says, "Hell yeah!" Indiana Jones opens a tomb and releases a Cloverfield monster. That's awesome. That is the plot for Indiana Jones 5. Which, by the way, I'm not too excited for, because no offense to Harrison Ford, he is now of age, so I can't believe Harrison Ford running from the natives anymore. So this interactive movie. Look, the first time I read this news, the first thing that came to mind. I don't know if you've played the Telltale game for The Walking Dead, the Walking Dead Telltale game. So that's sort of interactive too, where um, you come across like different options, like 3 options. So if you pick one, and then it'll lead you to the next scenario. If you pick option 2, it'll lead you to the next plot. I think in the Telltale Walking Dead game, you can always also, I think you can revert back. If you don't like the option that you chose, I think you can revert back and to the previous 3 options, and then pick a different one, I think. And whenever those options come on the screen, whatever is happening at that moment usually stops, and then it pauses onto those options. Now, based on the press release, it says here, this choose your own adventure movie, it will all happen seamlessly with no break in the on-screen action. So how does that work? With no break, not even a pause for the options? Like, I totally get, though. I totally get that it's a democracy sort of thing, right? It says here that it's gonna be based on the votes by the viewers or the moviegoers inside that theater. So I'm guessing which option gets the most vote, that will be the one. That scenario or the plot will be the one chosen for the rest of the film, or for that however duration. So I get that. I totally get that. But how do you do that with the film still going with no break in the on-screen action? Like, and then another thing also, you would have to pretty much design a separate theater for this. And I mean by that is, Tyler says, love the Telltale games. Haven't played The Walking Dead once, since I'm not a TWD fan, but I've liked the Batman and Guardians of the Galaxy once. So Tyler, you know what I'm talking about, right? The Telltale. So you click options, you have different scenarios. And so that's what they're trying to do here with this choose your own adventure movie. But another thing also, you would have to design a separate theater for it. For example, I recently experienced the 4DX theater to watch the trailer for The Meg, that shark movie with Jason Statham. And the seats would shake, and then there's water squirting on your face from the seats in front of you. It's basically a smell-o-vision, and the theater is called 4DX, and it's a room part of the Regal Cinemas in downtown LA. So I think for choose your own adventure movie to work, that means it has to be a separate room where the seats are equipped with some sort of a remote control, right? Where the viewers can press the buttons and vote up or down, or which plot. That's what would have to happen. Another thing that's also kind of baffling me, if the movie has various endings, that means it's extra work for the writers and for the director and for the cast, because they would have to shoot a lot of various scenes, a lot of multiple plots, rather than just like one script. Oh man, this is gonna be a trip of a movie going experience when choose your own adventure actually Tyler says, guess I'd have to go a dozen times to see all the different outcomes of the film. That's right. You know what, Tyler? It'll be like I don't know if you've experienced the Star Tours, right? Star Tours in the at Disneyland, the Star Wars ride, because they have like different planets to go to. So yeah, I when I used to have Disney Pass, that's what I used to do. I'd be like, oh, let me go to Star Tour, see which one that I come across this time. Uh, but good point, good point. Okay, so that's about that topic. Let's go to the next one. The news that happened this past week. Oh yeah, they revealed the plot synopsis for the new Predator movie. 20th Century Fox graciously sent me the press release from the CinemaCon, which I was not able to attend because even though I love Vegas, I don't have the budget to go to Vegas anytime soon. So hopefully next year I get to go to CinemaCon. The Predator, starring Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, Jacob Tremblay, Keegan Michael Key, and it's directed by the writer who gave us the Predator franchise, Shane Black. Let me read to you the plot synopsis here. From the outer reaches of space to the small town streets of suburbia, the hunt comes home in Shane Black's explosive reinvention of the Predator series. Now, the universe's most lethal hunters are stronger, smarter, and deadlier than ever before, having genetically upgraded themselves with DNA from other species. When a young boy accidentally triggers their return to Earth, only a ragtag crew of ex-soldiers and a disgruntled science teacher can prevent the end of human race. All right. So, sorry, I kind of spit a little bit there. I guess I got too excited that I spat. So the stories makes it seem like, unlike the Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where there's only one versus ultimately Arnold at the end, this one there will be several Predators. It says here, the universe's most lethal hunters are stronger, smarter, deadlier. When a young boy accidentally triggers their return to Earth. So number one, you can expect, multiple Predators running around or roaming around, giving everybody a hard time. I'm very curious about who gets to play this disgruntled science teacher. It's a big cast. Thomas Jane is in it, but I doubt Thomas Jane, has the gravitas to play a science teacher. No offense, Thomas. The young boy, of course, will be Jacob Tremblay. How he accidentally triggers the Predator's return to Earth, that's also a big question. And they have upgraded themselves with DNA from other species. That is also a trippy one, because that means whatever knowledge we have of Predator's powers or abilities from the previous Predators movies, it's gonna be pretty much, knocked down to the side by this one, because this one upgraded themselves with other species, and who knows what they can do this time around. So yeah, that's the plot synopsis. It seems like they're going to, because the synopsis says streets of suburbia. I think the mayhem will happen in suburbs neighborhood. I don't know if that makes it fun. If anything, movies like Avengers Infinity War and Rampage and all those movies, it's much more fun when it's like very populated, as opposed to suburbia. Suburbia, you think of Poltergeist, when you think of suburbia. So yeah, those are my thoughts about the topic of Predator plot synopsis. Let's go to the next one. Let's get this ball rolling so this live stream won't go too long. 20th Century Fox has released also the plot synopsis of Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic. I'm so excited for that. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Star Wars Resistance. Yay! A new Star Wars animated series. Woo! All right, so Disney Channel has announced Star Wars Resistance, and it's not just any animated series. This one is anime. Hey. It's an anime series that explores an uncharted time frame prior to the events of the movie Star Wars The Force Awakens. That's right. So in this new show, the character is a young pilot named Kazuda Ziono. Tyler says, "Can they think of better and less confusing title for films in the Predator franchise?" Ah, good point. Good point. It seems like okay. Let's discuss it real quick. There's the Predator. There's the Predator 2. There's Alien versus Predator, and then there's that Predators, right? Predators with Adrian Brody. So yeah, I don't think they can come up with a more significant or more sophisticated title. I got to tell you, Tyler, I think that is one wish or hope that it's not going to get granted. It's never going to get granted by Shane Black or 20th Century Fox. We're just gonna have to go with the Predator. That's it. Not the Predator semicolon Infinity War. Nothing like that. Um, so this Star Wars Resistance will feature BB-8, and it will feature new characters, but it will also feature Poe Dameron and Captain Phasma. Guess what? Oscar Isaac and Gwendolyn Christie will return, respectively, to voice those characters again. Of course, they play the characters on the big screen. And this is good. To me, this is a good thing because Poe Dameron, dude, he was barely in The Last Jedi. I mean, he was there, but he was playing this guy that was so grumpy, or he's holding a grudge because his ambition to be the leader of the operation just wasn't granted by General Leia, and he's like, no, I can do this better, and then he was barely there. He didn't do much. If you ask me about Poe Dameron, the same thing with Captain Phasma. We didn't see her do much in The Force Awakens, and in The Last Jedi there was that big, awesome, epic fight scene with Finn, but that's about it. That's about it. So if there are two characters that can be further explored from this new Star Wars big screen trilogy, that should be Poe Dameron and Captain Phasma. So I'm glad they picked those two to be further explored through this anime series, Star Wars Resistance, which, by the way, is created by the same guys who gave us Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Real quick, I gotta tell you, I was not a fan of Star Wars The Clone Wars, the movie or the series. I don't know, man. I was not engaged. I tried watching them. I just didn't care much for the characters to follow them. Star Wars Rebels, I liked the first 2 seasons, but then I lost track. But it doesn't mean that I hated it. I just got too busy. But I prefer Star Wars Rebels more than Clone Wars. So I'm still excited. Anything Star Wars related, I'm still excited for. So Star Wars Resistance, anime style. Hopefully they get the right, character designers, the right animators, and yeah, let's make this happen. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Tyler says the next film about Predator will be This Is the Predator. Because it's like, yeah, what else can you do, right? They don't have subtitles either. And Tyler also said Captain Phasma can't catch a break in the film, so they had to give her something in it. That's right. That is right. It's like, dude. And that suit is amazing. I love Captain Phasma's suit. I would like to know how she got her suit, how she got up the ranks, right? Become so powerful in the First Order military. So I want to know more about that. So hopefully they can flesh that out in the new anime series, Star Wars Resistance. All right, the next topic. Woo! We are on a roll. All right. Anybody out there, Star Trek fans? My fellow Trekkers, where are you at? Tyler, are you a Star Trek fans? I know I am. I grew up with Star Trek The Next Generation, and Captain Jean-Luc Picard is the greatest captain ever. That's right. That's right. I just said that. I just went there. He's better than Captain Kirk. Ooh. But of course, the big screen movies, they're all about Captain Kirk and the gang. And guess what? They're making Star Trek 4. Ooh, yeah. And guess what? It will be directed by a female filmmaker named S.J. Clarkson. She had directed episodes. She did mostly TV series in the past. Bates Motel, Dexter, Jessica Jones. Um, and this is a good thing because this marks the first female director helming a Star Trek movie in the history of Star Trek franchise. Um, I was like, it's about time. Like, what? It's so weird that it took this long. I mean, Gene Roddenberry created Star Trek, and with the characters that are so diverse, very, very revolutionary, to its time in the 60s. It's way ahead of its time. And I don't know why it took so long to finally hire a female director to handle a Star Trek movie. Gene Roddenberry, if he was still alive, like, dude, if I would have done this, a long time ago. What's up with you guys? Ugh. So that's not all. They're also bringing back Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth, of course, plays Thor in Marvel movies, but he also played Captain Kirk's father in the 2009 alternate timeline reboot by director J.J. Abrams, if you remember that. So, of course, that means there's going to be some time travel involved, right? And that's a usual concept, in the science fiction world. So, what does this mean to the R-rated Quentin Tarantino Star Trek movie that Tarantino was developing with Abrams? Well, that one is still going to happen. But the reports that I read was that it's going to happen probably after the S.J. Clarkson Star Trek movie, which makes sense because Quentin Tarantino is busy with his new movie, or I don't think he even started filming it yet. The movie about the movie with the story set surrounding the Charles Manson murders, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, and I think Margot Robbie's in it. So yeah, because he's busy doing that, this fourth Star Trek movie by S.J. Clarkson will happen first. I'm theorizing the Tarantino movie one because it's R-rated. I hope, though, I want it to be more of a spin-off, kind of like Rogue One or Solo, a Star Wars story, kind of like how they are to the Star Wars saga. It's just like another story set in the Star Trek universe. That's what I want. That's what I'm hoping the Tarantino version would be about, instead of it featuring Captain Kirk and the gang. But we'll see. We'll see. Rated R would make it definitely interesting, though. Tyler says he watched the original show, TNG, The Next Generation, some of Voyager, and most of the movies, but haven't watched Discovery. Picard is a boss. That's right. Picard is a boss. Woo! Engage. Make it so. I did not watch the Voyager. I did not watch Deep Space Nine. So I missed out on that, on those versions, or those installments. But I love Discovery. So go check out Discovery, guys, and Tyler as well. If you haven't done so, it's on CBS All Access. Rama Screen is an affiliate of CBS All Access, so subscribe to CBS through Rama Screen. The code is on the website. But it's amazing. Discovery is amazing because it's non-procedural. It's a long story arc, just how like most shows are these days. Okay, let's get on to the other one. Oh yeah, the news from the other day. Unfortunately, Sci-Fi Channel is not moving forward with the Tremors series. Tremors, as you know, is based on the 1990 cult film starring Kevin Bacon as Val McKee in a small town terrorized by underground creature. I loved it. I love that movie. And it spawned several sequels that were not that good. They were pretty bad. The sequels were pretty bad. So Kevin Bacon announced on Instagram the unfortunate news. He said, "Sorry, guys, Sci-Fi decided not to order the series or not to pick it up, even though we've already shot the pilot." That's right. They actually already shot the pilot. It's directed by Vincenzo Natali. And the plan was, if it gets picked up, or if it had gotten picked up, the plan was to have 10 episodes. And the story was going to be set 25 years after the events in the 1990 film. What do I feel about this? I feel like, like Rama Screen fan Emmanuel said on a comment on Facebook the other day to this news. I agree with her in that if the pilot's already shot, might as well pitch it to another network, or release it somewhere. Maybe if you release it online in some sort of an outlet, it would get the fans riled up about it, because fans might like it. If you recall, the series Timeless was canceled by NBC, but then the fans were like outraged by it. It's like, "Whoa, what are you doing to our beloved show?" And I think the fans kind of flooded NBC with like, "What the hell are you doing? Bring back our show!" Online and on social media, and then so NBC had to bring it back for another season. They renewed the show after all. So yeah, that could be an idea. Just release the pilot, and if it's well received, dude, I'm sure other networks will be like, there might be something there might be something here. This could be a hit. So I hope that's what happens. I'm very curious now that the pilot's been shot or filmed. I really want to see it. I hope it's not shelved forever. It's like, it becomes one of those, mystery. Oh, have you seen the pilot? Or you've seen it? Oh, I haven't seen it. It's like an urban legend kind of thing. No, just release it, guys. And let's see where it goes from there. So that's my take on it. Okay. Let's see here. Hey, Tyler says maybe Kevin Bacon can just go in the MCU after all his references. Well, Tyler, if you recall, Kevin Bacon was sort of a part of a Marvel movie, but not MCU. He was a villain in X-Men First Class, which I think Kevin Bacon did a very good job as a villain in there. But yeah, I agree. Maybe MCU could cast him in a role. Kevin Bacon makes a fantastic villain. So I want to see him again in a villainous role. Jose. I just said Jose. Sorry, Jose. Jose Torres, a good friend of mine. Jose said Sunday fun day with Rama. That's right, Jose. All right. Real quick, the box office news. Avengers Infinity War. That's right. Has banked more than $630 million worldwide at the box office. Wow. Oh, that is awesome. And that's only its first debut weekend. I mean, come on, guys. This movie, I think, will rule the box office. It will stay on top, number one, at least until Solo, a Star Wars movie, hits theaters on Memorial Day weekend, which is about 4 weeks from now. So yeah, I mean, bam, right off the bat, it's now halfway on its way to hitting the $1 billion marker. I mean, 630 million on just first weekend. That's amazing. And well-deserved. Such a great movie. Go check out my review of Avengers Infinity War with Dexter. That's the spoiler-free one. And then my spoiler-filled review with Brother John from The Real Talk. So go check it out there. Right here at Rama Screen YouTube channel and their YouTube channels as well. I think that's about it, guys. Yes. Oh, how are we on time? 40 minutes. I was worried a little bit. I thought we're gonna like go past an hour, because I was like, oh my God, Into the Badlands is happening this evening. I need to watch that new episode. So yeah. Tyler says he was defeated by a coin in first class. That's right. Spoiler alert, that's right. Kevin Bacon's character, the villain in X-Men First Class. Um, Jose says, do you think Avengers Infinity War will surpass $2 billion? Perhaps take the throne from Avatar. You know what, Jose? I think it has the potential to. Do I think it will? I want to say for now, I want to predict it will come close. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will hit the same record as Avatar or beat it, but it will come close. The enthusiasm for Avengers Infinity War worldwide is just amazing. And for me, I was actually surprised that Avengers Avatar made so much money. Avatar was, to me, just Fern Gully and Pocahontas, but with blue people. No offense, James Cameron. Which brings me to my last news or topic of the day for you guys from this past week. I want to hear what you guys think about it. James Cameron, the producer, the filmmaker, the Oscar-winning director, is being a hater. Oh, James Cameron is being a hater. Why, James Cameron? Haters gonna hate. So James Cameron said this on a recent interview with IndieWire. He's basically crapping on Avengers movies, because Avengers was about to hit the theaters. He was asked of his opinion about it, and he said this, and I quote, "Not that I don't love the movies, it's just, come on, guys. There are other stories to tell besides hypergonadal males without families doing death-defying things for 2 hours and wrecking cities in the process. It's like, oi." Okay. Tyler says, does anybody actually want those 4 Avatar sequels? That's a good question. Mine be like, yeah. That's my answer to you, Tyler. I'm like, yeah. On one hand, I want to see the visuals, the visual wonders. On the other hand, I'm not too ecstatic about the story or the potential of whatever story that James Cameron has. Because again, Avatar was just Pocahontas, but with blue people. So Cameron hating on Avengers is hilarious. But in Cameron's defense, all right, just slight defense, I'm not defending him fully here. You kind of have to admit, even I, a superhero or comic book movies fan, have to admit that there is some sort of a pattern in these comic book movies or superhero movies. Yes, when James Cameron said, it takes place in a city and the cities get wrecked, he kind of has a point. And on top of that, the villains are either out to rule the universe or destroy the universe. So it's either one of those two goals. Pretty basic. Pretty basic. Which is why I found Black Panther to be very unique, because the villain's motivation or the villain's goal is neither of the two. It was more about sins of the father, cultural past, and difference in striking between unconquered nation and a heritage that was conquered. So the clash between the two. So that's another topic for another time. So that's my defense, my slight defense for Cameron. Yes, there is a pattern or a frequent regurgitated, formula with all these superhero movies. That said, exactly, Tyler just said, Cameron has no problem coming back to help make more Terminator films. Yes, so that's the irony. The irony of Cameron's argument against Avengers. It's hilarious. It's funny. Like, really, you're hating on Avengers movies, and yet you yourself keep producing all these Terminator sequels that nobody really wanted, and now you're making 4 Avatar sequels instead of... Guys, real quick. George Lucas, right? He was awesome with the original Star Wars movies. And then he made Star Wars prequels, and that turned to crap. And then the same thing happened with Peter Jackson. The Lord of the Rings movies were amazing, but then he made 3 Hobbit movies and they were crap, in my opinion. They were. It's like the book is small, like you don't have to make 3 movies out of it. So I think that's the same case is happening with James Cameron here. And when you, as a storyteller or as a filmmaker, are knee deep. I want to use knee deep as a way to describe it, or you're just focusing too much on just one world, type of storytelling. You're not branching out like Steven Spielberg branches out, like he does various things, in between Indiana Jones 20. So if you're not doing that, then the quality of that story will go downhill. It's proven in the past, um, with Peter Jackson and George Lucas. So I'm that's my other answer to Tyler's question. Like, on one hand, I'm looking forward to the visual wonder of Avatar 2, 3, and 4 and 5. On the other hand, I have a feeling that the story quality will go like, woo, we'll take a deep dive, we'll plunge. And and by the 5th Avatar movie, we'll all be numb. Our minds will be like, oh, I can't believe we're sitting through this. And each movie will be 3 hours long. But back to Cameron's hating Avengers movies, dude. Come on, man. And it makes you look petty too. I was like, what? Only you can make such a big blockbuster? Like, it sounds like he's feeling insecure. Like, oh man, why do you go watch Avengers movie instead of the movies that I produce? Like, so he's smearing Avengers. It just makes James Cameron look and sound petty, and it's unbecoming. So for an Oscar-winning director to even play this card, so yeah, I think we can all be in agreement that, yeah, James Cameron, hating or being a hater is not a good color on you. It really is not. All right. Uh, so Jose Torres says the dude that has half naked blue natives ripped off of Pocahontas running around in singles. That's right. That's right. Jose says, speaking of Black Panther, did you enjoy the animated series on BET? To answer Jose's question, I have not watched the animated series. I don't think it's on my radar. I apologize. I've been quite busy, Jose. But I might give it some time when I have more time in May. So yeah, I might check it out because I do like Black Panther. I like the character, and I like Chadwick Boseman's interpretation of the character. So thanks for the heads up. All right, that's all. Those are all the news from the past week. And I will be dividing these into each individual video and post them on Rama Screen YouTube channel tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And again, Rocking It with Rama Screen live will happen every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you tune in every Sunday. Thanks, Jose. Thanks, Tyler. Let's rock this.